The night Vanessa thought she had ruined me, she laughed. She stood in the center of the residence hall, dressed in her designer coat, hair perfect, voice dripping with sweetness. "Some people just can't keep up anymore," she said, smiling at everyone around. Everyone nodded politely. But what she didn't know, I had already started my plan. And by the end of the week, the same people who whispered about my decline were begging me for advice. If you've ever been underestimated, if someone tried to erase your name while smiling in your face, hit like, subscribe, and settle in, because this story isn't just about revenge. It's about power, control, and reclaiming respect you thought was gone forever. My name is Evelyn Parker. I've lived in this residence for over 30 years. Widow, one grown son, and one carefully cultivated identity, respected, untouchable, dignified. The residents here are proud. They keep up appearances. Polished floors, neatly trimmed lawns, quiet laughter during afternoon teas. But beneath it all, every glance, every word, is judgment. And reputation? That's the currency. Lose it, and you suffocate. That is, until Vanessa Moore moved in next door. Vanessa arrived in a sleek black SUV, the kind that announces arrival without sound. Blonde, immaculate, confident, early 40s. Married to a successful businessman. 2 children who looked like they'd stepped out of a catalog. Within days, she hosted a wine tasting on her terrace. Within a week, she volunteered to modernize the community committee. Within a month, she began replacing me. At first, it was subtle. "Evelyn, you've done so much for this residence," she said sweetly one morning, brushing her hair back. "But maybe it's time for some fresh ideas." Fresh. As if I were outdated. I smiled. But my jaw ached from clenching. The annual Residence Charity Gala had always been my event. 15 years of planning. Donors trusted me. Volunteers respected me. This year, Vanessa asked to co-chair. I agreed, big mistake. During the first meeting, she dismissed my trusted vendors. Changed themes. Brought in her own people. Then, she sent an email to the entire committee 3 weeks later. After careful consideration, Evelyn will step back this year to enjoy the evening as a guest. A guest. My hands trembled. Step back. No discussion. No warning. Just exile and polite words. I couldn't sleep that night. I went over every detail. Every slight. Every whispered comment. Soon, it wasn't subtle anymore. Invitations stopped coming. Decisions were made without me. At book club, someone casually asked, "Are you downsizing?" Downsizing. Translation: irrelevant. And then came the rumors. I heard Evelyn mishandled funds years ago. She's renting out part of her house quietly. Lies, but in a place like this, lies are louder than truth. I would walk my dog past manicured lawns, feel the eyes tracking me, measuring me. I felt powerless for the first time in decades. The charity gala night arrived. Vanessa glowed under the chandeliers. Sequined navy dress, perfect smile. She praised new leadership and mentioned the event had evolved. Then came her subtle jab. And of course, we honor those who paved the way, before it was time to innovate. Laughter rippled. My chest tightened. My throat burned. This wasn't competition. This was erasure. And I realized that night, if I did nothing, I would vanish quietly, replaced entirely. I decided to stay silent and watch. Vanessa wanted innovation? I'd give her transparency. I began reviewing HOA records, charity filings, vendor contracts. Patterns emerged. Inflated invoices to marketing firms owned by friends. Catering charges exceeding attendance by thousands. Payments to consultants with vague descriptions. People who feel untouchable get sloppy. I documented everything: screenshots, bank statements, receipts. Every lie she spun about her contributions. Town hall night was approaching, the perfect stage. I arranged a private meeting with 3 senior residents, long-standing and trustworthy. I laid out every document carefully. No theatrics. Just numbers. One whispered, "Are you sure?" I slid the last paper forward. Bank transfer screenshots. Confirmations. Exact dates. "Yes," I said, calm. Everything. Town hall night. Folding chairs. Bottled water. Residents lined up. Vanessa stood confidently at the podium, glowing, prepared to impress. Then one resident stood. "We'd like clarification on these vendor payments." The projector flickered. My documents appeared, line by line. Inflated costs. Duplicate invoices. Payments to friends. The room shifted. Whispers. Shock. Vanessa's smile faltered. "This is a misunderstanding," she said, voice tight. "Numbers don't misunderstand." For months, she chipped away at my credibility. Now, under fluorescent lights, hers disintegrated in real time. The board voted for an external audit. Committee leadership suspended. The people who had avoided my gaze now looked at me differently. Not with pity. With recognition. Vanessa walked out, stiff and silent. No dramatic exit. No apologies. Just silence. For the first time in months, I inhaled fully. Not because she fell, but because truth prevailed. Within 2 months, the audit confirmed everything. Funds misallocated. Contracts improperly awarded. Nothing criminally massive, but enough to destroy her perfect image. Vanessa and her family quietly moved out, relocation for business opportunities. As for me, I declined returning as chair. Respect doesn't need to be reclaimed loudly. Neighbors returned invitations. Conversations warmed. The community regained balance. I had changed too. I no longer needed validation to breathe. Revenge isn't screaming. It's patience paired with proof. Vanessa tried to erase me socially. I responded with facts. She weaponized charm. I weaponized truth. And in a place obsessed with appearances, exposure is the ultimate equalizer. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. Drop a comment. Would you have confronted her, or let karma do the work? And subscribe for more stories where patience wins, reputations fall, and truth always finds the spotlight. Sometimes, the most satisfying revenge is simply refusing to disappear.